Welcome to my recap live trades. I hope you enjoy the content. Today was a frustrating day. I ended up about break even. I think I'm red $7 after commissions, which I consider break even. But frustrating day. I held past my stops like two or three times. Just risking basically my P&L for the day. I was up almost 2% at one point. I should have been up a lot more, but I just didn't. Just got short on my targets on Tesla a couple times, and just things didn't work out. But I'm just happy that I didn't have a big red day. Still very frustrating, but let's get to it. First trade in video. It's in the middle here. I I take this trade, so we get this sell off here, right? Pretty volatile price action. Got a bottoming tail shooting up. So I'm stocking Nvidia here. So we go red to green. Come back red a little bit. I'm kind of seeing that it's favoring upside momentum. Late on my entry though. I'm not in yet. That trend line there was where I was thinking, okay, we're gonna shoot past that. So I'm in there one contract at 328. Totally just screwed up this trade. I didn't have a reason to get him. If I was gonna, it should have been right when we went red to green. Or at least if we hold over this horizontal. But I saw we were getting above it. I was feeling all right about it. But then, I'm only one contract, and it's chopping around doing nothing. Then we get the sell off here a little bit. I just get out just to be safe. So, and then I see Snow just ripping faces off to the right. Tesla's kind of being a little weirdo right now on the left here. So, next trade's on Tesla. So, Tesla, we had almost 15 minutes. We got a pop, we have a pullback, and we have candle over candle right now. I'm in one contract. I'm in a 720 call because we're right above prior day's high, which is around 716. So I'm in this, thinking this is a good setup. I mean, we had to pull back to the AEMA, and that would have been I don't know, that would have been a better place based on the price action we've already had. That would have been, and this is in hindsight though, that would have been a better entry. But what what happened is, I don't know, it's not a bad setup because we have prior day's high right above there. The daily looks super sexy in my opinion. Um, we got a it looked good for potential upside. So I'm still in, didn't get stopped out. So I'm in at 1079. I think I could have got about 1150 at the most so far. This is looking like double topish right here, but I'm still holding out. A lot of times I'd be in Tesla in this scenario, and it would just rip bases off. I mean, it would just go to 720. Already be at 725 right now, and I'd already be out and going like, "Dang, I wish I would have held longer." But today, she just wasn't acting like I wanted her to do, and I just think a little bit more patience, or if I would have just had tighter targets, then I would have made more money on this. But I'm just not. I don't know. I do know that once I saw the price action wasn't just giving out free money today. Basically, I should have just protected my gains, and I would have had almost 2% day, but could easily have been over 2% day. It wasn't. It's all about woulda, coulda, shoulda right now. But right now, I'm kind of hoping. I'm hoping this isn't going to be an M pattern. Because we're not really going up. So it has me questioning. Okay, are we going down now? So yeah, we got a candle under candle there. The reason I didn't sell out was because the daily looks so good that I thought it was worth the extra risk to hold this. At least until to make sure it's holding the AEMA, which it just held the AEMA. Caught the dip towards just above the AEMA, which is that gray line. We're ripping above prior day's high. But it's good tape. I mean, there's a lot of red coming through on the tape. No, the velocity is all right in my opinion, but it's not chewing through numbers like I'd like to see it. I mean, we got over 17, 17 a little bit, 7, 7, 17 a little bit, but not holding above there. It goes up an inch and then it comes back 2 inches. It feels like, or a half, 3/4 of an inch. So you gotta really have patience, or you gotta just size up and take the quick pops. But this whole one contract, like it definitely doesn't make things easier for me. Right here, we're at 11, 10, 11, 15. I was watching the premiums. We're at 10.80, so about $30. So I sell there on the ask 11.13, and yeah. So whatever. I made $34 on that trade minus commissions, which is about $2. So it is what it is. So next trade's on Tesla. So don't ask why I got in right there, because I don't know. FOMO. FOMO's about the only answer. That daily chart caused me to have FOMO. But I'm getting rewarded for this. Oh, okay, no, we zoom back. I thought we were at a totally different part of the chart. So that's an ABCD pattern. So that's why I got in. Correction. I stand by that entry. Was totally thinking that we were somewhere else in the chart. That's funny. Okay, so now we're getting some velocity. I'm out of the trade, as you can see there, but um, that was a $46 trade. This is one of those trades where the price action before this got me so messed up in the head where I just took the real quick profits when it actually ripped higher after this, and I missed out on the move. Look at that. That would have been a decent trade. Okay, so it's not holding there. Okay, then sell. Just sell right there. Boom. So, that would have been um yeah, $165 instead of like 46 or whatever. And that's just with one contract, So this happens a lot, and it's easier said than done. But I really, really need to work on when I have a setup, just sticking to the criteria, not just taking the quick pops unless I have more than one contract. If I have one contract on Tesla and we have a nice ABCD pattern like this, and the daily is as beautiful as it is right now, then that's when I need to hold a little bit longer. As long as I'm not getting stopped out. If the trade's working, I need to let the trade work. So that's a lesson I have from this trade here on Tesla. This isn't the first time I've learned this lesson, but So next trade's on Roblox here. Roblox is in the middle chart, and we have this flag pattern. The daily looks good. We have this falling wedge, and we we broke out a few days ago, and now we're similar like a W pattern, almost like an ABCD, and we're above that pivot. I'm a little late on the entry, but we got above that pivot. We're holding above it, and we have this sort of flag pattern on the 1 minute. So I like the setup. We have a pop pullback, and now we kind of got the candle over candle, but I let it sell off a little bit, and then I bought that, which was more of a mistake in my opinion. So I bought two contracts at 195 each. I got 85 calls, which is just out of the money. We're at like 80, 84 and 15 or 84.20 or something. So it's $1 out of the money. As long as it holds this, these prior pivot lows here a couple candles ago, then I like it. And then just, I have two contracts, take one out on the quick pop, or, depending on how the price action goes, I might take both off. Just kind of got to play it by ear. So a lot of green coming through on the tape there. I like the velocity. A little bit of red, but that's, it's to be expected. Especially when we're getting towards high day. Which is right there at 84.25 basically. And then we're just consolidating, but I mean, it did get a burst of volume. And, I feel like it's kind of just like shaking out the weak hands or, the sketch artists, and then may make a big, decent little move. A lot of green coming through on the tape. I love it. Kind of slowing up a little bit here. We're seeing a lot of green, some red, but a lot of green. So I just take the profit. Take both trades. So I made $17 per contract. $34 for those of you that don't know math. As you can see in my P&L up on the top left. So I definitely took profits too early. Well, I mean, I don't know. Per my plan, I should have taken one. Those purple prints that just came through were below bid, so that's not necessarily a good sign. That means someone's sizing in heavier and they're aggressive. So maybe that was just a stop hunt, and then we're gonna drop lower. So I'm curious to see what happens after. Oh no, ripped higher. So, and then it couldn't hold. So a little bit more patience, and this would have worked out a little better. But hey, can't win them all, clearly. So next trade is on AMC. Now, I took a couple losses here on AMC, small ones, in at 260, out at 256 on one contract. I didn't want to show it because it's one contract. Then it got in at 275 and sold at 271. It's two contracts, so I lost $8 there. Didn't think that was eventful enough, and there was no lesson to be learned, I don't think. I mean, I took a pop, pull back, candle over candle above this sort of descending trend line here. AMC's on the far right. The trade just didn't work out. The reason why it didn't work out is because I got in on a volatile spike, and then we had a pullback, and then we got a pop. But I sold too early in the pop, and then the premiums didn't have a chance to catch back up to where I got in, on that volatile spike, which is when that happens, premium prices get inflated, because the IV, spikes. So, yeah, that doesn't help. It's better to get in my opinion, if I can, when there's kind of a dull moment in the price action. So let's get to it. Like, just got out a minute ago, but then I noticed we had this pop pull back, and then candle over candle, I get in a little bit late there. But I really like the daily chart on AMC. I just wasn't really too good on my timing here because it did pop a decent amount higher, and then it ripped in after hours back to the high days. It sold off. It sold the pop. It broke out on the daily, and then had like a false breakout, and then in after hours for earnings, it ended up right now it's trading around today's high. 35.38 currently it's at. And today's high was 35.38. So it's at today's high right now. After hours. I'm in that two contracts at 285. Now this is how it has a change of character versus the price action leading up to this. We had like some bullish momentum coming in. It's looked good to the upside. Now it kind of looks like we're gonna go test this descending trend line down below here, just under prior day's high, which is that yellow line, or maybe test prior day's high. Assuming we don't hold this AEMA, which is a gray line it's at right now, or somewhere just below that between prior day's high, but it's not looking. It could just be a momentary pullback, but we did have a couple pullback candles. We had this doji 2 candles ago. I'm not feeling this right now, and I should have been out as soon as we break below this prior red candle right here. I should have been out as soon as that we had this wick down and got bought out, as soon as this starts to sell off right now, in my opinion, I should still be in right now. As soon as we break where I just had the crosshairs at, I should be out. So is this trapping some longs right now? It does look kind of bullish, but I don't think this trade works out. Wicks are getting sold into. It's pretty wicky right here. This horizontal around 34.12. I don't think we can get up to it. We need a new high. We need volume to come in. We got a little bit of volume in the last candle, over 200K shares. But whenever it starts to look like it's going, it sort of just dies out. A lot of manipulation going on, in my opinion, because we got earnings, after hours this day. So the prior candle right here is kind of a long wick that just got bought up real quick, as you saw. Sort of a little minor micro flash crash, so to speak. Now, in my opinion, my stop should be about 20 cents below where we're at right now. This is just like watching paint dry. And I mean the setup, it doesn't have the same personality that it did 10 minutes ago, even 7 minutes ago. I should be out right there. But I'm not. So I hold, and I'm going like, okay, let me keep moving the goalpost. Or keep moving my stop. Let's do some holding and hoping. Let's see, just a shakeout. But in all reality, this trade's invalidated right now. This looks like an M pattern, double top-ish. For it to be a double top right here, it needs to break around below VWAP here, but that's a decent amount of volume into this wide bodied candle. So we get that drop down to that descending trend line. It's bought up a little bit, and I'm thinking right here, okay, any pop that we get, if it looks like we get a pop. So now we have from before 10 a.m. we have that rising trend line sort of that's kind of I need to update. Well, we broke below that support. So now we're bouncing off of this descending trend line. But this doesn't look bullish in my opinion. So I want to sell on any pop, or I just want to consider taking profits here if we break below this. Or stopping out. We're at VWAP now. Thought about adding there, I didn't. So I'm not sure how long this trade goes. Let me kind of fast forward it a little bit. So we get a pop, it doesn't hold. So I sell there. As soon as we break candle under candle on this sort of bear flag. And I sell for $250. So I lost $70 on that trade. So now I'm only up $16 minus I'm up $2 after commissions. So before this trade, I was up $94, $84, up $84 with commissions, and then now I'm up $2. Crazy. So next trade, Roblox. I'm just gonna go over this one real quick. Roblox is in the middle here. We break above this pivot, horizontal, and I'm in there, late entry. And this one, I'll fast forward it, but I was in a 261 contract, that's why I'm fast forwarding it, and I get out at 283, so I made $23. So I made a little bit back, and then here's where I took my last trade. It was on Square. We had this trend line here. It looked like a sort of a micro inverse head and shoulders, in my opinion. But I like this trend, this horizontal sort of this trend line. It has multiple points where it touches. Shorts piling in it. Those wicks. Break above. I got a late entry there, so I bought into the IV spike. So that just that half a second late of an entry cost me some money. Got one contract, a 285 call at 559. And then what happens is basically it just can't hold above this. So what it does is it stops me out. Boom, right there, right? This has that, that wide body candle. Gets almost down to the 34, which is that the second gray line below, below where this candle is. And it kind of breaks trend right there. And then, not really, not the wider time frame trend, but that's kind of where I messed up. So then, look what happens. So we get that wick gets bought up. And it gets back to where, close to where my entry was. I don't have the rest of the recording, but it's not good. So, anyways, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I hope to do better tomorrow and the rest of the week. I really appreciate you watching. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye. 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 Goodbye.